So I thought this was interesting enough to bring light to it. So with Ethan's drama with Cruel World Happy Mind or his feud, he brought up a point that she brought up about how when he was on Frenemies, his co-host wanted him to fire his crew. And what's interesting here is that his crew finally speaks up. The Frenemies crew finally speaks up and says how they feel about the entire situation. At the time when it all went down, they were pretty quiet and none of them wanted to like rock the boat or say anything against Ethan's former co-host. But now it seems like they're ready to speak out. So check this out.
Of Frenemies. He claimed that Trisha wanted the existing crew to be fired, which he ended up telling the crew this information.
To be like,
so what?
We need to get rid of
Hold on.
She was refusing.
She's the one that said it.
So really quick, I don't get Cruel World Happy Mind's take on this because of course Ethan would tell his crew that his co-host wanted them to be fired, because how would he, if he was going to do what his co-host wanted him to do, how would he do that without telling them that they have to go because she wants them to go? Would he just have to take the blame for it and be like, you guys, I'm firing you for no absolute reason. You're all going to be replaced by people my co-host wants, but it has nothing to do with my co-host. Like, that doesn't make sense. They obviously would have to know that his co-host no longer wanted to work with them. But let's keep going.
Said on the show, she said on Frenemies, she will leave if she ever sees me. She said that she wanted me fired on the show.
Yeah,
but that was
That's
even
the
before.
thing. I don't even remember, but
That was when it was just you.
I'm so surprised that AB is speaking up because AB originally, when he spoke his mind about how he felt about Trisha coming at the Vlog Squad, he got absolutely flamed by the entire, not the entire internet, but Trisha's fan base of the internet and Trisha herself. AB was scared to say anything. Like, he was getting threats. Trisha said that she wanted him fired. She thought he was disgusting. She said he deserved the, like, threats that he was getting. She went in on him, and AB after that kind of started defending her and not saying anything bad about her ever, never arguing against her, because he was like, he seemed like timid and scared. So it's so interesting to hear AB be like, wait a minute, she said she wanted me fired on the show. We all heard it. I'm so surprised that AB is coming out like that. And I'm honestly so surprised that the whole crew, as you're going to hear, are all going to speak out and say what they thought and how they felt, because they've been quiet for so long.
For all this saga, there's so much receipts. It's all out there.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the details.
I'm gonna need help pulling all, like, I definitely gonna explore suing her for defamation.
I got a little one right here. I got a little screenshot for you.
Show, we need to know what to do. Remember that we had to tell you guys because it was like, well, we have a show. We need to know what to do. Like, this was every week.
You guys were consulting with us, which you guys didn't have to. Like, you guys were, we were like problem solving together, which as boss.
So Hila was right in the sense where she said, well, we had to tell you guys because literally we had to film the show the next day and you were all part of the show. So if she didn't want you to be part of the show and she wouldn't show up if you guys were there, we had to tell you. Like, I agree wholeheartedly. I don't understand what CW is trying to say where she's saying, and he told the crew, what Trisha said, well, yeah, he would have to. How else do you think that they would even get fired if he was going to go that route? Not that he did, which is good. He shouldn't be firing them for a co-host who wasn't even really a co-host, who quit his own show every 2 seconds.
You definitely do not have to do, and I appreciate that you're allowing us to chime in. And
these guys are not just employees to me, right?
Right.
Like, and so of course, and I'm dealing with this thing behind the scenes of Trisha, how she's refusing to come. She wants them all fired. Like, why the shouldn't I tell them what's happening behind the scenes?
How would you not?
Yeah,
how would we know?
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Point. Like,
yeah, it doesn't make any sense. They would need to know. How would they, if they're all expected to show up the next day for their jobs, but she doesn't want them to, he would have to say, hey, you guys, she doesn't want to come in if you guys are coming in. Like, he would have to. There's no way around it. CW seems to be trying to blame Ethan for the crew knowing that Trisha wanted them fired, but Trisha never made that a secret. The whole entire crew knew that she didn't like them. She said it from the beginning. She said she hated Dan. She said because she thought Dan didn't like her. She hated Zach. She hated AB. She didn't. That one was definitely not a secret. She had the whole internet rallying against him. So I don't know what CW's argument is here. The crew already knew. If anyone's a villain here, it's the co-host Trisha who wanted them all fired and have their jobs taken away. I don't see how Ethan would be in the wrong in that scenario.
What if we have a show tomorrow? I don't remember if it was that soon, but I think it probably was. Like,
right, that's even a better point, Dan. How did we not? Would you tell us take Monday off and then we're gonna see Frenemies going live or whatever?
Yeah, no, it's like there's no thought put into this at all.
That was funny what AB said. He said, "Would you tell us to take Monday off and then we'd just see Frenemies go live without us?" Like, yeah, they would have to know. Like, there's no way around it.
And the whole, I mean, this whole thing blew up because I refused to fire the crew. I was like, I'm not taking them off the show.
Yeah, that was the last line for us when she started going after the crew. It was like, okay, listen, like, you can call me the C word. You're going to do whatever you want.
Call me Dewey. I don't care.
We can take all this. Once you start going after the crew, like, this is not going to work.
I told him.
I respect that, but I kind of don't believe it because I am on their side in this. I am on their side in the whole Frenemy situation. I don't think Ethan and Eli did anything wrong. The reason I don't believe them entirely about the crew aspect is Trisha came for their crew members pretty early on when she was supporting AB getting threats and saying that he deserved them and saying how despicable AB was and how he needed to be fired and all these things about him. And Ethan and Eli didn't really put a stop to it. Ethan did defend AB a little bit on the show because he was like, no, it wasn't AB's fault. It was my fault. I asked him to argue the case for David Dobrik. And then Trisha was like, well, did you come up with the words out of his mouth? Did you tell him what to say? No, then it's his fault. Like, she got away with saying all that about AB. So they didn't exactly protect their crew. I understand what they're saying. Like, they protected them from losing their jobs. Yeah, that's good and fine. And I support that and them in that venture. But they could have supported AB better. And honestly, even Trisha attacking Ela there should have been put a stop to that. I feel like Ethan allowed her to get away with too much as his co-host that he would never allow anyone else to get away with because he knew how fragile her mental state was in the sense that if he rocked the boat too much, he'd lose the entire show. And I get that he was trying to preserve the show and save it, but I think he just let her hurt too many people around him, including himself, for the show. I just don't think it was worth, and I don't think it was the safe environment they're gonna try to say it was.
Yeah, I said, listen, you gotta stop.
This is still a workplace for you guys. So if it's not a safe environment for you guys, we can't do the show. You know, like, you can call me whatever you want, but
again, it wasn't a safe work environment for AB though. AB was receiving actual threats. AB was. He got it so bad. I'm even going to include a clip of how careless Trisha was about it and how it kind of just, like, you know, got brushed under the rug. But
well, I want to say AB's a great guy. People were sending him threats and, like, harassing him.
I get threats every day. I get threats every day for being fat, for being whatever. People send me threats. Like, it's you put yourself online. Like, don't be on camera. Don't have your own YouTube channel. Like, he made jokes of it on TikTok. I agree. I thought it was weird you guys had him on.
Yeah,
Like, what the hell? But
I
to know
fucked
that's his
up.
true colors, don't even want that around me. Like, it's backlash. He does an apology. It's like, I hate that too. It's like, it's, you know, it's not sincere.
I wish they would have had this attitude when AB was getting the short end of the stick from the internet.
I choose to do it.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
It was just so unprofessional. Doesn't even begin to broach the atmosphere she was creating for the crew. People have worked their asses off to put this show, to make this show possible. This is where maybe I fucked up, okay? Is that I was...
Again, though, Trisha had always come at the crew. She came at Dan from the beginning. She came at Zach. She came at AB. I guess she then came at the new employee, Sam. I don't think Sam works with them anymore. I don't think. I could be wrong. But she came at a new female employee at the time called Sam, who had set up a Q&A for them to do, and Trisha kind of just trashed the entire segment, which Sam had come up with, and that was a whole issue. AB and Dan are actually the most vocal speaking out about this. Check it out.
Such a cool, amazing thing that we had built together. And I was doing everything in my power to appease this person.
And at this point, we were all cool, by the way. The last episode the episode before the last episode of Frenemies, I'm wearing Trisha merch. Like, at this point, we had all made up.
Yeah.
Like it was just during one of the shows, the last show, she said that all the segments were going to the other shows, and we didn't care as much about Frenemies, and she kind of went off, and it was like Sam's like first day or something.
Sam's first day.
Yeah.
And she put together a
who was a huge fan of Trisha's, by the way.
Yeah.
So if you hear Dan is piping up and AB is kind of taking the lead and discussing what the actual events were, he's defending Ethan. He's saying it wasn't Ethan, that Ethan's co-host actually had a lot of issues with the crew and she never made them a secret. That's how AB knows about them in the first place. That's why he's able to recite everything that she claimed was wrong, because she said them out loud to the entire crew.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah.
And Trisha knew that
very
because
excited.
throughout, before Sam was officially hired, Sam was helping Ian, and she was creating all these awesome gifts for the show for us to give
She was super
Trisha.
crafty and amazing.
And Trisha loved it every time, and we were like, Sam made it. Like, you know, So it was building up, and then it was like, okay, Sam is officially hired.
She was awesome, by the way. Sam was so good at that, doing that stuff.
Yeah, so they're defending the employee that kind of got the short end of the stick, like I said before. Sam had just come onto the crew. She was a Trisha fan, and she came up with a segment for them to do, which was a Q&A, and then Trisha kind of just like, she just had so many negative things to say about it. I'll also include that here.
I don't
got
like this
pizza.
segment. Just for the record, fan advice is a stupid segment. But
Why?
we can do it. It's so dumb. What's the point?
To give advice to our fans.
But that's not the like. Oh, no, that's like when people run out of ideas and they start doing Q&As. Like Tyler Oakley ran out of ideas. So he's like, we're gonna do Q&As now because we have nothing else to talk about. Okay, go ahead. It's such a dumb segment.
It's so not. It's
like we
fun.
have
Well,
nothing to fill
sometimes
the time.
And then we have, now this part I find the most interesting.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
No.
a little awkward, right? I made the executive decision as their boss, trying to foster a healthy work environment, that let's
Listen to
just
this
not
asshole.
do the shoot tomorrow.
I don't know. If Trisha was a business
What a monster.
partner who wanted more involvement, to create a hostile work environment through telling your employees that
I
your business-
created a hostile work
Oh
environment.
my god.
You
How
are
do we even
lost,
spin
lady.
this
Oh
shit?
my
God.
god.
How the do you even spin that?
Because you communicated to us that the co-host of our show was losing her mind
Yeah.
and wanted all of us fired.
So I think it's funny that Dan was like, "You are lost" when CW accuses Ethan of creating the hostile work environment. Trisha clearly created the hostile work environment. It wasn't Ethan. Everyone knows that. Everyone who watched Frenemies knows that it was Trisha. Ethan tried so many times to recover the show. He tried to cater to her. He tried to keep her calm. He tried to do anything and everything she wanted. That's why she thanked him so much for her redemption arc and for defending him all the time. He did that for her. He never created a hostile work environment. She did. From the very beginning, she did. From the very beginning, when she said that she hated his entire crew, when she encouraged fans to send AB threats, when she blatantly outright said that she wanted them all fired. So it's actually really interesting that Dan speaks up and says, "You are lost." Like, you are lost to say that, because Dan knows who really created the hostile work environment. They all do. I guess the only one who doesn't is CW for some reason. It's just, for someone who claims to do a lot of research, CW seems to know nothing about nothing. And that's kind of concerning. But I just thought it was interesting that the crew finally spoke up, because it's been years and the crew has never really said a bad word about Trisha. Even every time Ethan brings her up, they always try to stay quiet on the subject and they try not to talk about it. This time they all just defended Ethan and they all stood up for him and they all told the internet what was what. They all finally came out and said she was the problem. We all knew she had a problem with us. It was her, it wasn't Ethan. And I think that's pretty brave of them, considering what happened to AB the last time he spoke up against her. But what do you guys think? Let me know. It's kind of a shame that the crew didn't speak up at the time, because Trisha tried to use them against Ethan in the past, and she'd be like, he's trying to turn his crew against me. I have nothing against the crew. I almost wish they would have just at the time been like, we know that you don't like us. You've said it yourself. It was never Ethan. Because she got away with that lie for way too long. I don't think she'll ever respond to this, though. Maybe back when it all happened, she would have responded immediately, but she won't nowadays. Nowadays, she never responds to anything Ethan says about her. Ethan has said so many things about her. She's never once responded, so she's not going to respond to any of this either.